Alrighty then, welcome to Scottish Guy Plays Madden. I'm going to show you a game I had today against a guy. It got a little bit heated. He came on the microphone and talked a bit of shit, and there was a lot of turnovers. Some aids came into play, a lot of fumbles, and it was a pretty fun game. So I thought I'd upload it and show you guys. I've got a 95 overall team, and I'm playing in All-Pro first right now. So the guy had pretty much the same kind of team. So let's jump into it. I like to start every drive with a run and just see who he's going to be using. I generally prefer it to be the D-line because it makes it easier to pass. But this guy was not. He was using his linebacker and his safety. So I thought, okay, I'm just gonna, run on this guy, but he makes a great play here with his safety to just close that gap and prevent the first down. And at that point, I kind of knew I'm going to be in for a tough game. So here I'm going for the screen because he's blitzing every play, but he switches up to man, and he's not going to be running the same plays. And I'm going to have to make good reads. And as you can see here, that's not always something that I'm good at. I've got X wide open, but I've just got tunnel vision for the crossing route, and I try and scramble out and I get sacked. So right away I'm facing a 3rd and long, and not an ideal situation on my first drive. So I'm going to go to one of my money plays, and I just throw an absolute dot to Calvin Johnson. Otto Graham is definitely not just a mobile quarterback. And then I'm going to go into the hurry up here and just take the easy run against his pass defense. So, I almost get the first down with Murray here, a nice little juke, but he stops me on the line. He starts to respect the run a little more, so now I'm going to run a play action on him, but the play he makes here, he is so unlucky not to get the sack, and I'm so, distracted by that pressure, I almost run an interception. So once again, I'm facing 3rd down, but I'm just going to throw the screen here, and finally I get it off. His user completely misses it, even though he comes down, so it's a pretty bad play by him, and I get the block for the first down. The next play, I'm just going to run it up the gut because he's in pass coverage. And at this point I'm pretty confident that I'm going to get the touchdown. So the next play, he comes out and run defense, and I'm going to get the easy slant with Antonio Brown for the touchdown. Maybe a little bit fortunate there, a couple of big 3rd down conversions, but now it's time to play on defense, and he comes out and rolls out with Manning. I didn't have my QB contains on there, and he gets the easy read on that play. And next I see that he comes out with Nate Solder, and I try and go over there and stuff it, but he manages to get the first down. So then I come out and overcommit to the run, and he is not going to run. Instead, he's going to throw an absolute bomb to Demarius Thomas, and somehow he comes down with it. And that wasn't even a face catch, it was just a really nice pass. Maybe I messed up on my user there, but I stuff him for a loss on his first run there. And he's going to make a mistake that I see a lot of people do. He's just going to completely abandon his run game just because he took one loss on a run. And for some reason as well, he goes into the hurry up mode here when he should really be just chewing that clock and making sure I don't get the ball back with too much time on the clock. But at this point I'm sure he's going to pass again. I pass commit. He's going to run the play action, but I'm just going to try and bait him. I'm covering 2 guys there, come in the middle, do it perfectly, and then he drops the pick. Bobby Wagner there and just letting me down. He's normally so reliable. But luckily he comes out and throws it to the flat, and I stop him for the 3rd down. So I'm sure he's going to pass here, and he's just going to he's going to go for the same ball over the middle, test my user again, and this time I don't get the drop, I get the user pick, and that's the end of his first drive. So we've got around 3 minutes to go up there and make this a 2-possession game, and I'm going to hand off the ball to Amon Green, who's fighting for yards. He only gets 1 yard there, but I'm just going to hand the ball back to him, and he's going to get us the first down. I noticed that this guy is not covering the middle of the field. He's just charging me with his linebacker, and he gets a really nice sack there, but I know now that I can just throw this over the middle. So, I just maneuver in the pocket to give Calvin Johnson time to get open, and that's just a really easy first down. So I'm not really sure what he's doing here, but maybe he's playing angry or mad, but I'm going to go for the screen again. He's charging me with his user, and I feel pretty confident I'm going to get points here if he keeps doing this. And again, just over the middle, these routes are normally not open if someone's using their linebacker, and Green gets us another first down, but I'm down to 1 timeout. I'm kind of going against the clock here, and he's using the D-line, trying to get to the quarterback, and he does make me throw it away there. And now I'm facing myself a 2nd and 10, and I just make a really stupid play call here, waiting for these corner routes to develop. And at this point, I just decide to take my 3 points, try and get as close as possible to the goal with a screen, and luckily we get in field goal range, and I take my 3 points. We've still given him enough time that he can make a big play, so I immediately go to the nickel, subbing Calvin Johnson, especially given the play that he made on his first drive to Demarius Thomas. And right now I'm just here in cover 4, giving him all the underneath stuff, and he gets out of bounds here, preserves his timeout, but eventually burns them all. He's got 0 timeouts with 8 seconds left. He's going to throw it deep. He's going to try that Calvin, and you can see Calvin gets the interception, but he lands out of bounds. But luckily the guy's got 1 second. He's not going to throw it to Calvin again, so this time it's Richard Sherman against T.Y. Hilton, and that's the easiest interception Richard Sherman's going to get. So we managed to keep this to a 2-score game going into the second half, and he starts with ball, but Khalil Mack's going to come in and just smash him, and Julius Peppers says thank you. We recover the fumble, and now we've got a great chance to make this a free possession game. Team of the week, Khalil Mack is just such a good playmaker for me on defense, as we run the counter here and get stopped just short of the first down. So we go back to the run and we just try and punch this through, but somehow he manages to stop me. I was sure he fell forward there. Maybe I could have challenged, but we go for it in 4th down and we get it, but my opponent is not happy.
Really, dude, up by 10 on 4th down, you fucking go for it.
You know, the field goal keeps us a 2-possession game, and I'm deep in his half, so I really don't see why I wouldn't go for it in 4th and inches there. And it's really something I've tried to be, you know, a little bit more aggressive with, is when I get on top, just stay on top, keep my foot on the pedal. And, you know, it really pays off here as we run the ball in with Ahman Green for the free possession lead. And you're going to see with this next play that he throws why it's good to keep going for it when you're in top, because he throws an absolute bomb again, and Maxwell gets up and should get an interception. Instead, bounces off his hands right into his receivers, and that's the 2nd big play he's made without even user catching it. So maybe I need to work on my corner game there, but luckily I get a chance to redeem myself with the next play as he goes for the play action, goes for the deep ball in the end zone, but I undercut it with Sherman and get the pick. And now we're in a pretty good state. We're going in just towards the end of the 3rd quarter. We're running the ball, managing the clock, 3 possessions ahead, but then I go for the screen in the next play, and he just makes a really nice play with his user, comes down on the blitz, and then Khalees Campbell just makes a heads-up play to recover the fumble when the fat man runs it in. And all of a sudden, we went from 3 possessions ahead to 2 ahead, and he takes the 2 points here, and now we're only ahead 9. So he really just needs a touchdown and a field goal to take the lead. And I react in the worst way possible here by going for a 3 and out. He stuffs the run twice, and on 3rd down I'm trying to pass. No one is open, and I'm forced to punt. And on his first drive, he goes for it right away, and this time Glover Quinn gets over and breaks it up. And, you know, he's got me worried about that deep ball at this point, and he gets an easy run for a 1st down. And, you know, at this point I'm worried. He's got 3 minutes, plenty of time to try and get to 2 possessions of the ball. And I'm giving him the underneath routes, but luckily for me there, Kuechly makes a nice play, and he decides to run it in 2nd down, but he runs into his own blocker, and now he's facing 3rd down. So he goes straight into the hurry up. I don't have a lot of time to think here, so instinctively I'm just covering that right hook zone, looking at those 2 receivers, Hilton and Gronkowski, trying to cover them both, holding catch, and I get the user pick. And that was just purely holding catch the entire play. I really didn't even expect him to throw it that fast. So that's just one of the real benefits if you're trying to use your linebacker. Always hold catch as soon as he snaps the ball, otherwise I would not have got that pick. And, you know, that's a big change of momentum in this game. And I'm obviously now just going to go back and run the ball, try and see out this clock. But I end up getting a huge run. And, you know, he gets back on the mic to give us some abuse.
Fuck off, dude.
You know, his frustration ends up shown in his play here as he brings the safety down and leaves a massive hole for Ahman Green to get into and get us into the red zone. And we're eventually going to get it in with Franco Harris by attacking the flats, and he's just going to shed the tackle and get in to make this a free possession game. I go for 2 here just because, you know, he got on the mic and started talking shit. But I know he's going to really want to go for that deep ball, so I just get Julio Jones in at strong safety just to protect us, and we were in just running here from cover 4, but he comes out with Mike Vick and he runs the old cheese play PA end around. But you know, I never had contains there. I thought he was still running Manning, but on the next play Khalil Mack actually is going to come in and just say nope. So now he's going back to the pocket passing game, trying to stay in the pocket. He gets his first down there on 2nd and 17. And now he's facing a 2nd and inches, and I was kind of wondering, is that 99 Vic? But this play kind of confirmed, no it wasn't, as he misses the wide open receiver. And then on in 1st and 10, he goes for the deep ball again, but Julio Jones is the only one who's going to get that, but Vic overthrows it. And you know, he has enough of Vic and decides to bring back in Manning, who makes an immediate impact as he tests Sherman for a 3rd time and finally gets the touchdown. I have no idea what Sherman was doing there, but he goes for 2 for some reason and then decides to kick an onside kick when the game is clearly over. So I'm thinking, alright, you're going for 2 and trying to drag this game out, even though it's almost physically impossible to get a touchdown and a field goal in 9 seconds. So I decide, okay, I'm going to send Calvin Johnson on a fade and I'm going to try and get a user catch. But he comes round and just lays out Otto Graham, and you know, I guess you could say I deserved that, as the fat man Calais Campbell once again picks it up and gets his 2nd defensive touchdown of the game. So I ended up giving him 12 points because once again he misses the 2-point conversion. And this is going to see the game out as the clock expires. But you know, he got on the mic and talked some shit, but good game to my opponent. And I hope you enjoyed this game. Hopefully I'll have some more for you soon. Thanks for watching. Peace.
Win the football game. Just think about it, Jim. It would be like you playing around the golf and you know it's just you against one other guy and you practice all week long. The anticipation builds. You're so excited for the match, and once you get it done, man, it's a wonderful time.